San Diego. Drink it in. It always goes down smooth.
Hey Most Amazing Top 10 family, I'm your host Chader, and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I want to go to San Diego. It seems like a great place to get some sun, and California has some features that are very close to Canada, except for earthquakes. I wouldn't want to go there for that. But with all the great things that they have going on over there, there are some creepy things hanging out in the shadows, and that is why I'm bringing you today's list of top 10 scary San Diego urban legends part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, go check it out right now. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Anyone at home who wants some more Most Amazing Top 10 content, you should check us out on Instagram and Facebook. We are starting to do Facebook exclusive content. If any of you at home need some merch, check out the link in the description below. Use the offer code MA10. That will give you $5 off, which means you can grab a shirt for only $10, which is a very sweet deal. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. At number 10, we have the San Diego sea monster. No urban legends list is complete without some sort of sea monster. There have been rumors of a giant beast that lives off the coast of San Diego. It's said that it's so large it can take down boats in the deep, dark depths of the underwater world. The legend comes from a couple things. There have been sightings of giant squids off the coast, so there's a good chance that any tales of a large underwater beast with tentacles ripping out of the water and grabbing onto things comes from people exaggerating their encounters with a giant squid. But the second part of this tale comes from the fact that most of these giant squids have been found dead and washed up on shores with large pieces missing from them. These deaths could come from natural causes. The pieces missing from them could be from a lot of small fish and small animals taking pieces from them, or maybe there's something large and scary lurking in the water that's big enough to kill a giant squid. At number 9, we have the bladed beach walker. Let's stay on the coast. They say there's a stalker who walks along the beach at night. Right as the sun is going down, a killer walks along the beach waiting to find someone who stayed out just a little too late. When you see him walking up to you, he'll seem like a regular disheveled man, maybe a little dirty. He looks like he needs a shave. Then as he gets closer to you, you can see that his skin is decayed, and where his hands are supposed to be are just long blades. It's said that this is the ghost of a homeless man who was killed by a couple of teens on the beach. Now his ghost stalks the shoreline, waiting to take revenge on anyone who thinks the beachside view is safe. He wants to take from other people what was taken from him. At number 8, we have the floating convention center. The San Diego Convention Center has become the center point for large events coming to the city, and it has built a strange reputation for being a floating convention center. I mean, that's cool, but it's also kind of freaky. What if you were there for a con or a conference or something, and the whole thing just snapped off and floated off into the water all splish splashy into the ocean? Then they would have to send an army of boats and helicopters just to come save everyone before they drowned. Well, I looked into this, and apparently the center was built into the bedrock and not actually floating on the water, so I wouldn't worry too much about this. But maybe this is just a PR team trying to convince everyone that the convention center is completely safe. There's nothing to worry about. At number 7, we have buried and tortured. Okay, one more urban legend involving the beach. A couple is walking down the beach early one morning, and they see what looks like to be a large rock covered in seaweed and other sort of sea-like vegetation. As they get closer, they realize that it wasn't a rock at all, but it was a human head. So they call the police as soon as they found out it was a bloated, contorted face. When the police arrived, they discovered that it wasn't a head washed up on the shore, but it was someone who'd been buried up to their neck in sand. Right next to the shoreline, as the tide came in, it would slowly drown them. The autopsy showed that the person had been drugged. Someone kidnapped, drugged, and then slowly drowned this person. Later, a videotape was mailed to the police. It was a video of the person they had just found, but while they were alive, screaming and struggling while they were buried. The killer just watched them drown and filmed the whole thing. But don't worry, this is just an urban legend. Or is it? Ooh. At number 6, we have the Old Point Loma Lighthouse. Yes, of course we have to put a lighthouse on the list. Why do ghosts love lighthouse so much? Maybe they just like being left alone and no one goes to a lighthouse because they're just basically a prop now. This lighthouse has been an interesting tourist attraction for many years, and almost everyone who visits it comes back with some sort of ghost story. Everything from ghostly footsteps to voices to the feeling of being watched. All these things have been reported from this eerie place, and if you don't believe me, you should go spend a night there for yourself. I'm sure you'll have a lot of ghostly company. At number 5, we have Whaley's House Museum. Any fan of hauntings needs to go check this place out. It's one of the freakiest, most haunted places in all of America. The place was built back in the mid-1800s, and since then there have been many deaths on the property, with almost all of them leaving behind a ghost. There are at least 4 members of the Wahley family that haunt the building. The mother, father, daughter, and grandmother, and that doesn't even include the family dog, which is also said to have a ghost on the premise. See, this place even has a ghost dog. That's how you know it's the real deal. But the most famous ghost is that of Jim Robinson. He was sentenced to death and was hanged right outside the home. Now you can hear him walking on the property, his heavy boots smacking against the hardwood, and his laugh bellowing through the halls. At number 4, we have the San Diego Lightning. Why did the San Diego Chargers have that name? Well, probably because it's the sports team and they all just named something pretty generic and intense, like animals and forces of nature. We know how this all is. Well, a rumor got started not long after the team was formed that the name comes from the increased amount of lightning in San Diego. People started a rumor that San Diego had more lightning than any other city in the world, which is not true, but the game of telephone took this rumor and turned it into something even crazier. Some people started saying that there wasn't only more lightning, but an increased amount of electricity in the air that actually charged the Chargers. Like they had some sort of supernatural power from the weather, which I don't really think is true at all. Probably just an urban legend started to try and throw off the other teams. I think the only power increase they would get from the weather would be the excess vitamin D because it's beautiful over there. At number 3 of the Julian Pioneer Cemetery. So many bodies that have been buried in this cemetery are from the gold rush. Back in the late 1800s, San Diego got a ton of people coming through trying to strike it rich. Kind of like jumping on a new social media platform now. When it comes out, everyone's like, oh my god, I gotta get it. Except back then you would get the black lung. Many of the men who tried to find gold never got anything and ended up dead, disappointed, broken, and lost, with their bodies dumped into the Julian Pioneer Cemetery. This is probably the saddest grouping of ghosts ever. Just a bunch of old, crusty dudes in a bad mood because they died before they got to touch any gold. Just remind me never to get buried in this cemetery. The most famous ghost that stalks these parts is Drury Bailey, who was the founder of the Gold Rush mountain town. At number 2, we have the secret war tunnels. What if a revolution started up in America? Well, in San Diego, it seems that it would be shut down pretty damn fast if this legend is true. It's said that there are secret tunnels underneath San Diego that are packed with military supplies. These tunnels hold 3 functions. First being a supply base for military personnel, a place where they can rest and restock. The second being a strong defensive position. The tunnels are hard to navigate and penetrate. And lastly, they are for a quick and unseen transportation through the city. For the most part, this sounds like a very safe thing to have. But what if they got invaded by the enemy, and then this entire tunnel system was used to ensure the destruction of the city? That's kind of scary. And for our number 1 spot, we have the Haunted Army. Dude, a ghost army is one of the most lit things of all time. Lord of the Rings has taught me that a ghost army can bring down the hammer and ensure that you'll be flossing on all the casuals that you devastate.
May the best dwarf win!
So if you want to win a war, then you should probably head down to the San Pasqual Battlefield State Historic Park and recruit some of the Ghost Army. The San Pasqual Battlefield Historic Park was the site of one of the most brutal battles in the American-Mexican War. Many people lost their lives there, and their souls have decided that the battle should never end. There have been reports of people seeing entire armies lined up getting ready to fight each other. That actually sounds so cool. A massive ghost fight? I would just set up one of those foldable chairs and then just look out into the battle while I smash a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos. That's a good time. Alright everyone, that has been our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I have been Chaderena, and I guess I gotta go to San Diego now, get some of that sun and some of them ghosts.